What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it is me, XFL Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the XFL.
As always, I'm joined by the one, the only, the incomparable. This is Uncle Rico, a.k.a. Erik. What's up, my man?
Love that intro, my friend.
That was a good one. What up, Herb, in the chat? Make sure if you are here, you are chatting along, you're giving us a like, you're giving us a follow. It always helps. We love you guys. Let's Make Some Money says, Erik looks like someone who just bet on the Heat and lost.
Yeah, he got boat raced, and I bet on the Heat.
It's rough. I always hate when that happens.
You know what?
We move on. As always, this episode, like every episode of Spring Fever, is brought to you by Royal Retros, your one-stop shop for all the best merch. Seattle Supersonics, Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, the Seattle Sea Dragons,
Oklahoma Oats.
Yes, sir. They have it all. Go to Royal Retros, and when you do, use promo code SPRINGFEVER for 10% off. Erik, we have made it through half of the UFL season.
We have. It has met my expectations and exceeded my expectations. Promo has been great. Ad numbers have been great. Viewership is great. It seems like there's a buzz on it on Twitter. I'm sorry.
No, you can say Twitter. We can say Twitter on the show. Right. We say Twitter.
Kind of like what I see. I think it's moving in the right direction. I just hope they don't. You want to grow after a year like this, but you don't want to grow too much. It should be a slow and steady growth.
I wouldn't suspect they would try anything reckless. It'll be interesting to see what they end up doing next year with a full offseason. This was a very rushed offseason because the merger wasn't even announced until July, and then we didn't know if they were actually going to play this year until
how many episodes do we have where you and I just were like, we want this to happen. We want this to happen. We literally had no idea what the F was going to happen.
Exactly. And then they had, I think, especially given the fact how skeptical we were based off the short training camp being only about 30 days, the level of play has been much better than I anticipated coming in.
Oh, way better. Way better. Well, from every unit except for the Memphis Showboats offensive line.
Yeah, Case Cookus, ever since that first year in Philadelphia, just can't catch a break, just with terrible
the magic of Case is gone, my friend.
No, he's good. I stand by
magic. You're still buying that Cookus stock?
I'm still gonna buy Case Cookus stock. Dude, can anyone be good behind that offensive line?
Oh Jesus, dude. Maybe Saracen from Friday Night Lights could put together a drive or two.
I think so. Who has the quickest release?
Of what? Jason Street from Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, Erik, as we look back at the UFL, there's a couple stats I want to ask you. I'll do a little quiz time. Don't look at your sheet. I don't want you to look at any of your sheet. This is a quiz for you. So, Erik, total offense. We're going to go. So, how do you rate total offense? Do you go by total yards? Do you go yards per game?
I look at points. Yards per game and yards per carry, yards per pass account.
Okay. So if we go yards per game, total offense, rushing and passing, who's the number one offense?
Stallions.
It is the Stallions. If we go passing, average. Let's see if we have average per game. I don't have average per game. Dang it. If you want to go passing percentage, completion percentage, who do you think is number one?
Battlehawks.
Erik, you're good at this. Defense.
Stallions.
It's the Stallions. But if it's defense yards per game, it's not the Stallions.
Who is it?
It's the Battlehawks.
Ooh.
The Birmingham Stallions average 240 yards per game given up. The St. Louis
Okay.
Battlehawks average 223.
Okay. All right.
However, if we go points against, it's the Stallions. The Battlehawks are middle of the pack.
Okay.
Also, looking back at the past, I'm going to be a little bit of a Stallions hater, but it's fine. They know that's in my blood. So the Stallions are 5-0. Their wins have come against Michigan, Memphis, Houston, and Arlington. And DC. So the bottom 2 XFL teams and then all of the USFL teams who their best is Michigan Panthers.
Okay. Interesting.
They're still a really good team. They're still number 1 in my power rankings, but
Michigan Panthers are number 1?
No, like the Stallions. Like the Stallions, all of their wins have come against the other USFL teams who, like Memphis and Houston are like bottom 3 team in the entire league. And then Renegades and DC, who are the 2 worst XFL teams.
Yep.
And that leads me into my first take on the first half of the season on my report card. I think after week 5, we have definitive tiers in the UFL. Tier 1, up at the top, it's the Stallions and it's the Battlehawks. They're kind of by themselves. Winning in different ways, so to speak, but they're kind of by themselves. Right below them, like solo, I had the San Antonio Brahmas.
Okay.
And then below the Brahmas, it's a steep drop below, but it's like I've got the Panthers, the Defenders, the Renegades, and maybe like the Roughnecks and Showboats are all kind of there at different levels. If anything, I would probably have, at this point of the season, I know they still have 1 win. I might have the Memphis Showboats as my bottom team.
So my counter to that is this would be mine. I would say I agree with you that the Battlehawks and the Stallions are 1-2. Like they've cleared themselves. They're the top.
Yes.
Then there's a gap to the Brahmas. Then I feel there's a gap to the Panthers. And then I feel there's a gap to the Defenders. I'm starting to fall apart on this team. I think their score against the Stallions, I think, is more weather related than anything else. And I think we need to look at that score with a grain of salt. Then after that, I think there's no difference between the Showboats, Roughnecks, and Renegades.
Yeah, there's like nothing there.
Yeah.
They're all about the same team. So, I mean, people take a lot of DC's like blowout loss to St. Louis, and you probably should. That was, to me, more of a late game, like fourth quarter absolute implosion by DC.
But I mean, one of their wins was a last-second field goal against the Renegades, though.
They're not a good team. They're straight up not a good team.
Like, I just, and we're talking about before we start recording, Tamu has taken significant regression backwards. And you made an interesting comment. Maybe he's just not that good without a supporting cast, as you said. And I think we're starting to see that. And if they don't really have a running game, their defense really hasn't been able to generate as much as Dr. Death usually does. So I think there's a clear top 4 teams. And I know, well, they're the best 4 teams per real record. Well, that's why they're the top 4 teams.
And it works out nicely that the top 4 teams are 2 from each conference.
Now, do you think we could do a thing where hypothetically, let's say the Renegades and Roughnecks have the worst record and they play at the last game of the season and the winner
see who gets the first draft pick next year? Yeah. I would love that personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great little thing.
Herb says the 3 best teams play each other at the end of the year. Looking at the schedule, Eric. Stallions Brahmas week 9. And then Brahmas Battlehawks week 10. Week 7 we get the Battlehawks Stallions. So not this week, but next week we get a great matchup.
That should be fun.
It's gonna be a fun time. Also,
hopefully it lives up. A lot of times we have these games that we're hyped up for, like you and I were hyped up. Oh, the Roughnecks could do it.
That was a lot of
game. We're like
that.
eh.
So that was a lot of me buying into week 5 being like a chaotic week, a week where everything kind of gets turned on its head. Week 5 in the UFL was the chalkiest of all chalky weeks. Like every road favorite won. and covered. Let's make some money and ask how my liver's doing. Pretty good. I mean, you can kind of tell. This is still some of the remnants.
Dude, I thought you were gonna fucking clean, dude.
Eric, it's been like a few days, okay? It's fine.
Dude, Jimmy.
It's fine, Eric. It's fine.
Jimmy.
It's fine.
Jimmy.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, my liver's doing great. Also, shout out my boy, ACC Jim, in the chat with the Cowboys. Big Renegade fan, my man. Eric, what's your first take for the first half of the season?
The Showboats offensive line is one of the worst offensive lines I've seen in spring football ever.
Let me look up. It's really bad. Let me look up the Philadelphia Stars offensive stats from 2023, because that's the only other one I can think of that was like so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Make Some Money says that means it'll be a dog's week this week because it was super chalky last week.
Hopefully.
I really hope so. So throughout the season last week, through 10 weeks, Case Cookus last year took 28 sacks.
Ooh.
The Memphis Showboat so far this season. Let's see what they've given up. Let's see. Do they have the Memphis Showboat so far? Oh my fuck God, dude. What did I say? What did I say the Stars gave up last year? All of last year?
I think like 15.
28. 28 last year. Case Cookus got sacked. So in 10 weeks, they got sacked 28 times. Eric, through 5 weeks, how many sacks do you think the Memphis Showboats have given up?
32.
No. You overshot it. It's 25. On pace for a 50 burger, though, if they keep this pace up.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy. Are you kidding me? They're worse than I thought, even.
Dude, I told you, they're awful,
so
dude.
bad.
They can't protect shit, man.
How could you do anything?
You can't do anything. You can't run the game. You're not winning the point of the attack. You can't give your quarterback time. You're not getting the running game to put any pressure off of them. So,
not the worst completion percentage, by the way.
mm-hmm.
Do you know who the worst completion percentage is right below them? You talked about it earlier. It's fucking DC.
Yeah, dude.
My second take, I think we're on a collision course. This is like a hybrid between the past and the future, but it feels like we're just on a collision course for St. Louis, Birmingham to get like a 2-part series where they play in Birmingham and then they're going to play in the championship. I feel like it's almost inevitable, which means some team will come out of nowhere and knock something out. But
The Michigan Panthers are going to F around a little bit.
They played a tough game against Birmingham.
They're going to F around a little bit.
They played a tough game against them. They got the defense for it, and I think they're in a decent spot. I don't know if they can, though. I don't know if they can F around and do something. Eric, what's take number 2? Or 3 at this point? I don't remember. I wasn't keeping count.
Take number 2, Stallions, baby. Just like a fucking truck. They are basically the Blue Bombers of spring football. Just a team that's going to be there year after year after year. They have a system. They have a collegiate coach in Skip Holtz that has been successful, and he's been able to bring this brand, his offense to the UFL. Other coaches, Stoops hasn't been successful making the transition. Nolan, these guys just don't have it. It seems like Holtz is accustomed to this game, and it's fitting him perfectly. And the program he has, look, no Smith. Smith was a stud the last year. For year 1, won a title with him. Magoo, year 2, won a title with him. Now you're doing a dual quarterback system with, Corral and Adrian Martinez. You're the best team in the league. It's like it doesn't matter. He's just got the system that's just a truck.
It really doesn't. Maybe it's the Nebraska fan in me, but I feel like Adrian's kind of cementing himself as the main quarterback for the Stallions. By the way, leads the league in rushing, which is kind of crazy with how he's only played 3 games.
Mhm.
But I'm just waiting for him to let the team down. Maybe it wasn't him as
Respect.
much as it was Scott Frost, but it's the Nebraska fan in me
Respect.
just waiting for him to fuck something up.
Respect.
So he's done great. I'm rooting for the guy. He looks great. Birmingham on top of the fucking world right now. Shout out Lemon in the chat. It's hard to see, especially with that defense. It's hard to see anyone unseating him. That defense is so good.
Yeah.
Special teams phenomenal, coaching phenomenal. Good on you, Holtz. The better Holtz, in my opinion.
The better Holtz.
The better Holtz, in my opinion.
Respect.
My final take for the first half of the season report card. I like the broadcasts quite a bit. They've done a little bit of adjustment. Certain ESPN broadcasts were doing like week 1 and 2. They were doing way more of like the listening to the coaches calling, and then some people wanted back on that. They're kind of finding a happy ground with the gambling talk. It's good. I feel like both the Fox and the ESPN broadcasts have tweaked some things, and I very much enjoy the product that I'm seeing on the TV.
I agree. I think it's been better than I thought it was going to be. And you're right. They kind of do have that nice little mix of like, okay, this is a little pre-flop lines. These are the live lines. So you kind of see, I kind of like that. My last takeaway is you mentioned it kind of earlier. There's no dominant running back. I thought this league was going to have a running back that would kind of separate himself from the pack, but there hasn't. The guy that's really separated himself is the kicker Bates from the Panthers.
Missed 2 last week. He missed 2.
He's going to be on elite. He is going to get the kicking is so bad in the NFL. He is going to be on the team at the bare minimum.
Yes, he will. I mean, the kid's great. He's what is he? He's 7 for 9 on the season.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, literally, just he missed a 57-yarder. Both of his misses were over 50 yards.
Yeah,
and he made a 64-yard field goal,
which you can look past.
Yes. Erik, now that I'm looking at that though, who has the best field goal percentage in the league?
Jesus. Probably the guy from the Stallions.
It's the guy from the it's the Defenders.
Oh, Jesus.
10 for 11.
Defenders are good for something.
90 point. I mean, actually, the worst kicker is the Panthers, percentage-wise. But, like, he's fantastic because they only trot him out there when it's just banging these long kicks. I feel like all the kickers in the league are actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like bad kicker in the UFL, which is kind of nuts based on what we saw from the USFL and XFL of years prior. So I like the special teams here. I agree with you. There really hasn't been there's been like certain running backs that have been good. Like Wes Hills for the Panthers has been like a decent name. Sailors for St. Louis is kind of showing himself a little bit. No team really has like a dominant run game to kind of just lean on.
Yeah, to lean on when you need it.
Like there's 2 quarterbacks in this list that are in the top 10 for rushers on the entire league.
Yeah, which is sad.
But yeah, it's no one has cracked 500 yards yet. No one.
Which is bad.
That's just the run game. Erik, looking to the future, what are 3 things you want to see? List them out for us, baby.
3 things I want to see or 3 bold predictions?
Let's do 3 bold predictions. Also, Jeff, is any chance they have a kicking guru in Arlington coach? They might have a really good kicker, like just coaching people up.
My first takeaway.
First bold prediction from Uncle Rico.
Brahmas will make it to the championship game.
You think they upset the Battlehawks?
I think they upset the Battlehawks
in the playoffs. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. That'll probably be in St. Louis too.
Yep.
Damn. Selfishly, at this point, even though I do have a Brahmas future, Since I'm going to be at the game, I kind of want the vibes of a Battlehawks in the championship.
How is that place going to look if it's not the Battlehawks?
I think it'll still look pretty good.
You still think it'll fill up a little
I
bit?
mean, I don't think it will be like full. I think it will be decent.
Okay.
I think it will be decent. I think they really want the Battlehawks there though. Like it looked all right in the XFL last year, and they played in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. Well, San Antonio is kind of a football city.
St. Louis is a football city.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else would be going on that weekend anyway. My first bold prediction. They're going to give a quarterback MVP. I want to say non-quarterback MVP, but they're going to give a quarterback MVP. Right? Like they have to.
Yeah, they're going to give it to a quarterback. Maybe your boy Martinez.
Yeah, probably at the rate he's going. I'm going to say my bold prediction for the future, there's more than one coach that does not return next year. There are multiple coaches not here. Head coaches.
My bold prediction is week 10 is going to be the deciding factor on who wins the division between the Battlehawks and the Brahmas. That week 10 week 10 game is going to be the you know what I mean? Whoever wins that game is going to win it. The week before, with that being said, the Renegades are going to upset the Battlehawks in week 9.
Okay, so you need to have something like that happen because the Battlehawks are undefeated in conference so far.
Yeah.
That would be sick if that's like the deciding game.
Mm-hmm.
A little revenge for San Antonio?
A little bit.
So if they win the conference, then I guess the playoff game's in San Antonio, not St. Louis.
Yep.
All right with the Brahmas.
Wade Phillips, second time around, man.
It's true. My second bold prediction, Eric. God, I want to say something crazy like the Roughnecks will make the playoffs, but
I want to get a team that can like get over the hump, but
Arlington has all the tools to do it. They have the offensive capability.
Yeah, agree 100%.
But A, their defense stinks, and B, I think Chuck Long is one of the worst play callers in the league.
Not the biggest Chuck Long fan. They have experience in the quarterback position. They should have won multiple games.
They should be like 3-2.
3-2, 100%. But they're not.
So I have to come up with something else.
But I mean, like, even if they run the table,
I'm gonna say they have to run the table, but they also need San Antonio to lose at least 1 to 2 more games, I believe. Or 3. They lose like 3 or 4 games actually. The
more realistic would be if the Showboats or the Roughnecks can overtake Michigan, but the Showboats and the Roughnecks, I mean, Showboats ain't doing shit with that offensive line. Roughnecks offense is just brutal. So I mean, like, I kind of feel even though we're halfway through,
we have our playoff teams already. Like
we already have our playoff teams. Defenders. Just my next takeaway is Tomu, the quarterback from the Defenders, not a starter next year.
People love Jordan Tomu, dude. I don't know about that. That's a good hot take though.
No.
Maybe they bring your boy King out of retirement.
If they get King out of retirement, that'd be awesome.
Or any young gun from like the recent like
maybe JJ McCarthy's there.
Yeah, a little Bo Nix. Get Bo Nix in there. My hot take will be that Week 7's matchup between St. Louis and Birmingham will be the most watched game of the entire regular season. Sam's right though. Like somehow, if DC can do it, like if they can beat San Antonio, I don't know if they can. This would be a bounce back spot for them.
It would be a
And
huge.
San Antonio's like been in a lot of close games. If DC can win this one, DC is not out of it. I feel like the only teams definitively out of it are Arlington, Houston, and Memphis. DC's not technically out of it. If they lose this week, they're out of it. If they lose this week, it's done.
Okay, I agree 100%.
Like, I trust DC. Maybe they could do something, bounce back spot. Who knows? Who knows? But I don't know. I don't trust it. Erik, you ready to look at these lines?
I am, my friend. Let's do it.
Let's open it up. We have some killer spreads on Saturday, my man.
You
The
lay it on
Birmingham
me.
Stallions, 11 a.m. at God's time, May 4th. The Stallions versus the Showboats in Memphis. The Stallions are an 11.5-point road favorite. Over under 43, plus 550 on the money line for the Showdies. That's a huge number.
Huge number. Early start. Stallions have a look-ahead game against the Battlehawks.
Just
Coming
dominated
the Roughnecks. Look, I'm going to play the spot here. I am going to take the Showboats here plus the points.
The Stallions have done nothing but cover except for the DC game, which we'll chalk up to weather.
But you know what? We should have hit that money line. They should have lost that game.
They should have. I'm going to go under 43 in this matchup.
Okay, why is that?
Because Memphis will not score. Case Cookus will die on the field. Birmingham might score. They might.
He'll
But
die.
I don't know if they'll be able to score enough.
So just his little carcass just
Yeah, he'll be like carted off, do a little thumbs up, and then he'll be in a full body cast the next day. If I go anyway, I mean, I would lead Memphis just for the spot play. Plus the 11.5. Not the largest spread of the week. But still, like, I don't know, man. This Showboats team, I feel like if any team's giving up at the moment, it's this team. This offensive line is putrid.
Yeah, but look, dude, you got to play the spot. You have to play the spot. Your number is a little bit inflated. You're getting the early start time, early morning time. You have a big game against the Battlehawks on deck.
Oh yeah, the spot is
That's a no-brainer.
undeniable. But
I'll play the Showboats. I'll sprinkle a little bit on that money line too.
I'm going to go under 43 here. Up next, 2 p.m. on that same Saturday, the other largest spread of the weekend, the St. Louis Battlehawks host the Houston Roughnecks, where the Battlehawks find themselves as 12.5-point home favorites, over under 47.5, plus 650 on the money line. Another look-ahead spot.
But
Also just dominated DC.
If they were playing at Houston, I definitely look to play the money line here. But since they are playing on the road, I'm only going to play the Roughnecks, but I'm going to play the Roughnecks here for the first half.
I'll play the Roughnecks plus the first half as well. I'm also going to play the over 47.5 in this one.
But that's the thing. Like, here's the thing. In my eyes, for the Roughnecks to win the game,
It has to be low.
it has to be low.
I just think it's competitive in the first half, and then St. Louis
Okay.
kind of blows them out.
Fine.
That's my theory. I think St. Louis will just start throwing all over on them.
Okay.
Sunday, May 5th, noon. The Arlington Renegades head up to Detroit to take on the Panthers. The Panthers are 4-point home favorites to the Arlington Renegades, over under 42, plus 164 on the money line. This was in
I
Arlington.
think the Renegades are a better team than the Panthers.
I think they might be, especially
But
at least on offense.
my worry is this. I look at the squad. I give the advantage to the Renegades. But when you look at the Panthers DC versus Chuck Long,
Yeah.
who do you trust in that matchup?
For sure, the DC. Also, Eric, I was gonna say this is like the exact same conversation we had when the Renegades took on the Roughnecks, and the Roughnecks frankly embarrassed them. That was their worst performance. That was the Renegades' worst performance of the season.
Yeah.
I'm done trusting them. I'm gonna play the under 42, and I'm gonna go home.
All right.
I'm gonna play the under
I'll probably
42.
dabble a little bit on that under 42, but in terms of
If I can get like If I can get a Panthers like -1 sometime in this game early on, snag that. Snag that. The Renegades will throw this away. Maybe take a Renegades like first half money line if you
honestly,
can.
like I've been invested in this Renegades team multiple times, and this is what they are. Unfortunately, they're just a team that is inventing ways to lose a game.
It's embarrassing. It's frankly embarrassing. 3 p.m. Sunday. I actually love that these games are all so close together this weekend. No long gaps for me during the live stream. Tune in every UFL game. The streams are happening. They're great. We're tweaking the wheel this week, Eric. We're tweaking the wheel. We're getting rid of a couple of the different drinking ones. Already got rid of
Dude, Jesus.
Already got rid of Speed Smoke a Cig. That one fucked me up last week, dude. That one fucked me up.
I'm
3 p.m.
worried about you, man.
3 p.m. though on Sunday, the Brahmas versus the Defenders. Brahmas are 1-point road favorites over under 42.5, plus 100 on the money line for the Defenders. You know what? Give me the Defenders. Brahmas won in a deceptively close game versus the Renegades. DC, this is the lowest they've ever, like, they got embarrassed at home, their first home loss. I'm going to take DC here, just straight up, plus 100.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
I'm rooting for San Antonio. I want San Antonio to win, but my head says DC. I'm trying to follow
everything I know about that. I'm a gambler. Says to play DC here. I will
Right?
probably be on DC. I'm going to wait to see if they can get a little bit better of a price, though.
Yeah, especially like if the one thing San Antonio's done really, really well, I think better than almost any other team in the entire league is their opening drives. Their opening scripts have been like fantastic offensively.
Yeah. Yep.
So if San Antonio starts with the ball, you'll probably get an inflated price. They've also been like, they've either come back in games or they've let teams hang around. Like they let Arlington hang around a lot last week.
Way too much hang around.
Eric, it is now time. We're opening the app. We got DraftKings up here. Boom. We have it all set. We got a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, defense.
All right. So, first of all, we got to do the quarterback position, Jimbo.
Let's make some money. Also says you were right with your lively take, by the way.
The bet hasn't hit yet. It's looking good. So let's just not jinx it. Let's just not jinx
Okay.
it.
So quarterback options, I feel like there's a couple different guys we can select.
All right. So I think the big thing is this. We obviously want a piece of the St. Louis offense.
Yes.
What piece do you want? Because if I'm not going to play the guessing game with the wide receivers, I am literally done with that game.
At this point, I would like the only wide receiver I'm gonna like consistently play would be like Butler is like his favorite target, hands down. But this Houston like pass defense is decent.
Okay.
So what actually I might play if you go Sailors here or the running back spot for St. Louis. Pretty good target, was getting a good amount of play last week.
Houston has given up the second most rushing yards, second most touchdowns in the into running backs. So if you want to go here with the running back and that be the piece of the St. Louis offense, I'm totally fine with that.
He's the second most expensive running back, but I think there's only so many running backs that will actually get you points in this league. There's like 3.
So you want to go him?
Quarterback is tough though.
So are we? Is this the final answer? Are we signing off?
I'm with Sailors. I like Sailors at the running back spot. Other than him, I mean, Lovett's an option as well. Like San Antonio for Lovett. I don't like Darius. I don't like anyone on Memphis at all.
Oh, I don't know. Well, let's just vote. The first thing I want to do is I want to know who we want. Are we signing off that we're taking
Sailors?
We're taking it, locked in it. Okay.
I like Sailors. I got Sailors in. The only other one I would even think of is Titans Thompson or Lovett. Those are the only other two I would think of.
Now, the defenders have given up the most yards passing and the most passing touchdowns.
Quentin Dormady.
Do you want to go with Dormady?
I do like Dormady, so let's. How has his stats been? He's only played 2 games. Only played 2 games. Wasn't like fantastic last week.
All right. So, real quick, who did the defenders play last week?
The Battlehawks.
So, they played the Battlehawks, and McLaren got 18.6. Who did he play the week before?
The week before they played Birmingham.
So, is it a Martinez game?
That was a Corral game.
So, Corral got
17.7.
All right. Week before.
Week before they played, that would have been week 3. They played, was it San Antonio? Week 3. Let me look at week 3. Renegades. They played Arlington.
So Perez had 21.6.
Yep.
Next week.
Week 2, they played Houston, the Roughnecks.
And who was Houston's quarterback then?
That would have been
Garantano?
Yeah, Jarrett Garantano.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he got hurt in that game, so it was Reed Sinet's opener.
And what did Reed Sinet get?
12.8.
All right, so we're just gonna say that is 13.7. Next one, opening
Week 1
week.
was San Antonio. That would have been Garbers.
And how many did Garbers get?
Where's my boy at? Do they even have him on here anymore?
I suppose.
I don't even see him on here anymore.
Nope, he's not. All right, so we're just gonna have a 4-week average then.
Okay.
So we're looking at plus. So the last 4 weeks, the defense has given up only 17.9. So is that enough for you to get invested?
9,500.
9,500 seems steep to me.
If I'm going to spend that much up, you know who I really want? Because I guarantee you he's going to be starting this week, I bet. And if he doesn't, maybe just fucking, I don't know, I'll suck a dick or something.
Whoa, Jim.
I want Adrian Martinez, dude. I want Martinez.
Jim wants Martinez?
This Memphis team is fucking dog shit. Not just against the pass, Eric. They're bad against the run. Martinez is the number 1 runner in the league.
Okay, let's do it.
We basically have a quarterback and 2 running backs already with these 2 picks.
All right, Jim, let's do it.
Give me Adrian Martinez. Okay, first wide receiver.
All right, but now the issue is this. We are spending $10,000. Why don't we go down to defense first? Is there a defense you're looking at here?
Oh, defense. Oh, God, I hate
defenders 3,800
defense. Yeah, I might just say I would either go 3,800 defenders.
Yeah, okay.
Or Renegades. I get their defense is trash, but Michigan might make some do we trust Danny Etling?
Can you ever trust Danny Etling?
I'd say either DC or Arlington, but there's only a $200 difference, so I trust DC's defense to maybe get some more pressure out there.
All right, let's do it.
We roll with DC. Okay, Eric. Receivers. It's tough.
All right. Which Battlehawks one do you want is the question.
So Shepard is out. Aitman's the cheap option. Butler or Pearson are your guys. It's the guys he's always gone with. How did Pearson do last week? Only 7 points last week. Butler went off last week. Butler had 36 points last week.
All right, so we're not going to do Butler then. We're not going to do Butler. Okay.
I like Ja'Cour Pearson. This is a strong,
See, my thing with Pearson is I'm looking at him right now. You said Shepard's out, right?
Shepard's out, so it's really just Pearson or Aitman. But Aitman really only had that blow up week too. He hasn't really been doing
Where the
nothing
fuck
since.
is Pearson, dude?
Ja'Cour Pearson?
Yeah, I'm looking
You're looking what?
at targets.
He's only been targeted 13 times the whole season.
And then you said Shepard's out.
But you know what, Eric?
What about Aitman?
Aitman's an option. Aitman's not bad. I feel like he would go to Pearson first, but Aitman's an option. Aitman, in the same amount of time, has only been targeted 7 times in the last 2
I'm
years.
looking at right now. He's got 24 targets on the season.
Yeah, but Ja'Cour Pearson has 13 in 2 games. Since Ja'Cour Pearson has been in there, he's been targeted 13 times. He's only been back for the last 2 weeks.
I mean, we need a piece. We need somebody. But
It's
I
a
mean,
coin flip between these two. Like it's
but
really
the thing
just a coin
is
flip
like
between these
we're
two.
going so higher up, we need to find a lower price guy. I guess the first thing we need to do is find which lower price person you want to do.
I would go Sims.
You go
Michigan-
Sims.
Yeah, Marcus Sims against Arlington's like piss poor pass defense.
I mean, but here's the thing: like, where's Arlington? I mean, Panthers, Showboats, and Defenders have all given up more.
Yes, but
Like-
would you rather go down for Sternberger too? Would you want to get some Sternberger in your life?
I love a little Stern in my life. So let's do this. Who's the Stallions guy we want? Do we want to roll with Sternberger?
I mean, it's Sternberger or Sternberger's cheaper than Kane. I'd rather go with Sternberger for the cheaper option.
All right.
Deion Kane kind of burned us last week.
Let's go with Sternberger then. All right. So now we got a little flexibility.
6,100. Yeah, got a little flexibility there now.
Now let's put in your boy Pearson. So now we need another low budget option. If we're gonna do this. What about from Arlington, Canella?
You want to go double tight end?
Nothing wrong with a little double tight end.
You want to go double tight end? I can respect it. I can respect a double tight end.
But see, then like, I really don't know who's in that $6,000 range we can get.
Don't love Surratt. Let's see. That's a running back again. You can still get Wes. No, you can't get him. There's not a ton of great options.
All right, so then the option is this, where it looks like I feel we can't have, with how we're doing this, dude. I feel we can't have Martinez at 10, Sayers at 8.
If we ditch Sailors, then I also liked Lovett here at 7,700 against DC.
You want to go Lovett?
I think as a cheap option, that would be good. I mean, Ricky Person Jr. for Birmingham will also be a good option. Either one of these guys. I like Lovett for the budget, though. They
The
did seem to
only
get him
thing is, we're
involved
just
quite
kind
a
of
bit.
we're leaving ourselves exposed with no Battle Hawk.
Well, we still have Pearson.
Oh, that's true. That's
So if
true.
you slot Lovett in there, then you got $7,100 to play with for your last flex. You could get a guy. If you think Kiki Kuti can have like a good game eventually,
Hey, Jesus Christ.
I get this against the Birmingham. Papali is at least like consistently like solid-ish.
Mm-hmm.
We could get Sims. We could get Sims in there.
A little Simsy?
Little Marcus Sims against Arlington.
You want to go Simsy?
So that would make our lineup Adrian Martinez, John Lovett, Jay Sternberger, Ja'Cour Pearson, Sal Cannella, Marcus Sims, and the DC Defenders defense.
I like it, Jimmy. I like it. Let's do it. Let's lock it in.
Boom. Let's save that lineup. It's in.
Straight cash, brother.
My lineup is in, Eric. I feel good.
You feel
I
good?
feel excited. I feel excited for the second half of the season, baby.
I hope it's as good as the first. I hope you continue doing your streams and I can continue yelling at you for your alcohol consumption.
Yes, I will
Are
definitely.
those domino
doing
boxes
streams.
in the background too?
Yeah, from this one was this one was chicken.
Oh, Jim.
This one was twisty bread, twisty
Jim.
garlic bread.
Jim.
Eric, I don't appreciate the judgment I'm hearing right now.
Jim. It's only because you're my boy, Blue.
Don't appreciate your judgment right now. But it's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Damn it, it's fine. Boom. Enter all the lineups. I made sure I entered it in as many competitions as possible. I'm ready. You're ready. We're all ready for the second half of the United Football League. Eric, is there anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No, real quick. These are my play caller rankings. Okay.
Ooh, this I want to hear. This
right.
I've been waiting. I heard you talking about this, but like pre-show a little bit. I can't wait.
Number 1, Skip Holtz.
It's got to be right.
Yeah. Number 2, Grekowski from the Battlehawks.
Yeah.
Number 3, A.J. Smith from the Brahmas.
Honestly, disappointed with him so far. I was hoping he'd be like number 2 or number 1. He's done some wonky stuff.
Number 4, the guy from the Panthers. Marcel Delfile.
I think that's his name. Yeah.
I just kind of feel, you have Danny Anthony as your quarterback. You're doing the best you can. You're kind of limited what you have, but I kind of like what I'm seeing from him. Next, now this is where it gets really tough. This is where it gets really tough in my eyes. These bottom 4 with the Defenders, Showboats, Roughnecks, and Renegades. I'm going to go Doug Martin from the Showboats. I think he's really limited what he can do with his offensive line. I think the offensive line was being a little bit better. They'd show out a little bit. Next, I am just going to do it. Give me Eric Price from the Roughnecks. 2 quarterback system. He's played tough teams, but the offense has looked decent. obviously a little bit lacking the talent. And what I'm looking at is not production. I'm looking at how they are calling the game. Next, after that, I'm going Fred Karras from the Defenders. Hate what he's doing.
I hate him, dude.
Hate what he's doing. Should be moving pockets, getting Tamu outside the pocket, using his athleticism. Some of these fourth call down runs, it's like they don't even know what the clock rules are. Last, and look, if you watch the streams, Jim and I bitch about him all the time. Chuck Long.
Hate him in 2020, hate him now.
I hate him all the time.
Do you? I didn't think you hate him. I thought he was all right for you.
No,
Damn.
not a fan.
Damn.
Not a fan.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Yeah, get out of here, Chuck Long. All right, folks. That'll do it for this episode of Spring Fever. You stay hot. Stay watching the United Football League, and we'll see you next time after Week 6. Love